Hi, I'm Sophie, and welcome to my world. You know, I get a lot of suggestions from you, the viewers, on things that you would like to see me make, and one of the things that you're always asking for is back to school stuff and like organizational stuff. And so this one goes out for A. Donnellan, and she asked, could I come up with some sort of desk organizer? Now, I think what she actually wanted was something that went in a drawer, but I thought that this was a great opportunity for me to teach you how to take the ends of the roll of duct tape and turn them into something really cool, which is a desktop organizer. So I'm going to teach you how to make one right now. For this project, you're going to need assorted ends of the rolls of duct tape, X-Acto knife, cardboard or foam core, a hot glue gun or regular glue, and a pen. If you use duct tape a lot like I do, you end up with lots and lots of the ends of the roll. And this is what I mean by the end of the roll. You get to the very end, and when you pull it off, it's just a cardboard center. Now, one thing about these ends of the rolls is you can, when you realize you're getting to the very end of your roll, you can just leave it on like that. And that gives you the perfectly covered roll, like this one right here. See, this is right at the end. I know that because I pulled it off and it was like, oh, it's just about to pull off. So I can use these to make my fabulous organizer. So for making the organizer, what I'm basically going to do is take these and glue them together. So you can make these as tall as you want. So you can just start stacking them. I mean, you can do a trio, you could do a duo, you could do singles, you could even do 4 if you wanted to. It's really up to you. I like to start, if I'm going to be making like one whole big set, I do like to start with what I call naked rolls, meaning that they've been pulled down all the way to the cardboard. But you can always mix and match and do these great, you know, you could do something along the lines of using the end of the rolls that are already covered and make something beautiful like that. That's totally fine too. I'm going to show you how we glue them together though. All you're going to do is take your hot glue and lay a little bead right along the edge here. I have the squeakiest glue gun for some reason. And just lay that bead of glue all the way around the edge on the outside. Now, of course, it goes without saying, just be careful with the glue gun because it is hot. Then you just place that on top. And you can build this like you're building a tower. You just keep making it as tall as you want. But I'm only going to do this one too high. So I've got one that's already set here and it's cooled down so that I can show you the next step, which is to cover it with tape. You need about 10 inches of tape to cover a bare roll. So I'm going to lay this out. Just to be safe, I'm going to do 11 inches. Because it's better to have a little overlap. Pick this up, and then what you want to do is just lay the tape down right at the edge and roll it around. Now I always like to come back. So there you go. You can see that 10 inches would have been perfect, but you know, I like to have a little bit over. So I've got one strip there. I was going to say I like to embellish a little bit at the tops, the middle, wherever there's a juncture where I've glued 2 together. So I'm actually going to lay the second one here, right along the bottom, and roll it, instead of putting one right in the middle, because I'm going to come back and do a little embellishment area. So I'm not going to need to have that overlapping there. Okay, so I've got that covered. And now what I'm going to do is take 11 inches of my accent color. And what I'm going to do is actually take my accent color here, and I'm going to make 3 strips. 1, 2, and that gives me my third. So I've made 2 cuts so that I end up with 3 strips. And then I'm going to pull this off of here and use this to embellish. So I'm just going to lay this right at the top and roll it around. And there you have it. Now the one thing I should mention, if you are one of those people that has many different kinds of tape, I'm going to put one in the center here, right over that juncture where I put those two together. I'm actually going to put one right down the center. If you're one of those people that uses different kinds of duct tape, mixes and matches their duct tape, then you are going to want to make sure that if you're stacking up the rolls, you want to make sure that you use all the same. As you can see in this one, I've used all Duct brand. And that's really important because what happens is some of the insides of rolls are different. It varies from the different tape to tapes. And so if you're going to be making pillars out of them, you're really, really, really going to want to make sure that they're all the same size. So there we go. So I've got that, and now I'm ready to put my whole piece together. So I've got one here that is a triple, and then I've got another one that's a double, and another one that's a double. Now, I love the look of this. I can configure this any way I want, and this is where I'm going to be using my fabulous foam core. So I can line it up like that, or I could line it up like that, or I could line it up like that, or I could add some shorties too. I think what I'm going to do is this, and then I'm going to add these cute little shorties right there like that. So that's going to be my fabulous little organizer. To make my bottom, all I have to do is take a pen and trace around. And I'm going to trace around the back side too. All the way around. Then I take my pieces off, and then I just cut it out using my X-Acto knife. I'm going to try to go within the line. Of course, if you're going to use an X-Acto, always be careful. And you just pop it out. Now, one of the ways to test to make sure that you're not going to rip this is flip it over and just see if there's any little parts that didn't get cut. So you can see there's a little piece that didn't get cut. Sometimes at those corners, or where the pieces come together, it sticks a little bit, so you just give yourself a little cut. Then flip it out, and you're going to start gluing. So take your first one, and again, you're just going to put a bead of glue all the way around the outside, and then just place it on its spot. And let's use the same color. Now, you should feel free to make these according to what your needs are. You could use these smaller ones, could be for things like thumbtacks, or you might even have things like hair clips or whatever. If you want to, you can also put a little bead of glue in between. You don't necessarily need to, but if you feel like they need a little bit more strength, you can definitely do that. And then you're ready to start filling it up with all kinds of supplies. And that's all there is to taking one of these and turning it into something great that'll help you organize all your supplies for school. Now remember, you can make it any configuration that works for you. For more recycled projects, make sure you check us out at Sophie-World.com. And if you like the video, give us a thumbs up. And if you want to become a subscriber, all you got to do is at the end of the video, click on my face. And you too will get the videos as soon as they come out. And we do 2 a week, one on Wednesday and one on Friday. Check us out for more great stuff at Sophie-World.com.